I've watched K-pop Demon Hunters 7 times by now, and judging by how much you guys liked the airplane video food that I had done recently from the movie, I've decided I'm gonna give you my take on all 3 of the girls' favorite ramens. Roomi, Mera, and Zoe each have their very own special ramen, and I'm gonna show you how to make them today. You're so loud. That didn't work how I wanted it to, but... I'm going to be working on Roomi's broth first, but I'm also going to be working on everything in stages. This way it's all done at one time for the taste test. Since Roomi's is superstar flavor, I actually went with something a little more pure and easy to digest. And for that, I'm using about 1 cup worth of vegetable stock, plus around 1 inch of ginger that I've just crushed up, along with a few ends of green onions. And to really brighten up the soup, I'm adding in quite a bit of lemongrass. The lemongrass is going to make it nice and citrusy and bright and add a ton of flavor to this vegetable broth for this ramen. Ramen isn't traditionally vegetable broth based, so this is going to help. I'm also adding in a bit of vegetable bouillon just to amp up the flavor quite a bit and because it's nice and salty. Now I just heat it up until it's nice and warm. The goal for today is to try to make all 3 instant ramens at the same time so I can taste test them at the end and make sure that Zoe's is still the best. I feel like Bobby is in the room because my dad is sitting over there right now. I don't know, can you see him? Where is he? He's right there. Hi, Dad. We all need Bobby in our life in some way. Now the next broth is actually going to be Mera's, and I'm starting off with 1 cup of water, followed by about 1 tablespoon of suyu and 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, again to help amp up the flavor. This is also getting 1 tablespoon of mirin. Now because Mera is both, I think, sweet and spicy, I'm gonna add just a touch of sugar to this broth so it's not just a bunch of salt. The sugar is going to help complement everything. Now I'm also adding in another pinch of salt to layer salt flavors, which is a technique I'm going to be doing for quite a few of the ramens today. Once the soup is nice and warm and those sugars have dissolved, give it a taste test to see if you want to add anything else. But if it's good, just bring it over to the stove. My mom's still wearing her pajamas and it's 2 p.m.
Teddy bears and choo-choo trains?
What are you doing in your pajamas still?
Choo-choo.
My parents are visiting and I made them watch K-pop Demon Hunters last night. Did you guys finish the movie? No. You didn't even finish the... Rachel's judging my JoJo jersey now, and I thought it was the most K-pop Demon Hunter thing that I own. So please let me know in the comments if you agree with my decision or not. Okay, let's recap. Roomi and Mera's soups are ready to go, so I just have to make Zoe's soup. Zoe also gets a cheeseburger style ramen, which I've never had or ever made, so I'm gonna do something a little bit simple for the broth. I'm using some really nice Kettle and Fire bone broth, but if you happen to make bone broth or you have nice bone broth, just use that instead. I really feel like I could have done a better job with this pot. Is there a reason for this? This is the only pot that I have left. You know, what are you gonna do? Hey, I mean, I guess it works. To my 2 cups of broth, I'm going to add a half an onion along with around 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and that's it for Zoe's broth. Now with all 3 soups working, I now need to work on the tade for each soup, and then I can finally go into all the toppings. There's quite a lot going on, but I do want to taste them all at once, just like I mentioned earlier, because I think that's really important. We have to determine if Zoe is still best girl. Rachel likes Mera. There's no Roomi fangirls in this house. Look, they're all best girl as long as Zoe is first best girl. Now I am running out of vessels to make things in this house, but I do have to make Roomi's tade first. Roomi is going to get a shio tade, which is basically a salt water tade with a few seasonings. In this case, it's 1 cup of water with around 20 grams of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of mirin, and we just heat this up over some. This tade is very simple, but it's very strong and very powerful. Oh, it's so salty. That's what it should be. It should be very salty. The next tade is actually going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be working on Mera's tade, and this is going to be a spicy miso pork ramen style tade. That means I'm going to char up a little bit of pork with around 1 tablespoon of chopped up ginger, 1 crushed garlic clove, and this gets mixed together just until the ginger and garlic have incorporated into that pork. Now, because this is the Spice Queen's ramen, I'm adding around 3 tablespoons of crushed Chinese peppers. These are incredibly spicy, but they are so tasty at the same time. Sometimes you just need a little bit of pain. Finally, I'm adding in around 2 tablespoons of white miso and cooking this very lightly because we don't want the miso to burn at all. Now with the fire off, I'm gonna add in a small handful of green onions and a splash of sesame oil. Now finally, a taste test. That's spicy. Oh! I couldn't figure out what tade to make for Zoe and her hamburger ramen, so I'm gonna be doing butter. Just good old melted butter with some salt. Now, admittedly, this is a recipe I like putting on top of white rice. It's 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, a pinch of salt, followed by around 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. You cook this down until the soy sauce starts caramelizing with the butter, and it's done and ready to go. It is very spicy in here, but I still have to make the toppings for each of the girls' ramens, and each of them are fairly different, so I'm gonna have to do them in stages before the soup is done and the tares are done, so that's good. The noodles, they will be instant, because I think that's very important. So we're gonna be making the toppings first, starting with mera. I'm using a charred bell pepper fruit. Really, bro? There's fire and things happening. What are you doing? This is why we don't do a live show. Now, charring bell pepper is relatively easy as long as you're not a Neanderthal like me. You just wanna char this on an open flame until it gets nice and burnt on the outside, then take it and place it into the biggest paper bag you have, and let it hang out for around 10 minutes while you work on other stuff. Now, the second ingredient is going to be some nice shiitake mushrooms. This actually goes on 2 of the different ramens according to some of the artwork that I found, and those are gonna be for roomi and mera. I'm just slicing these in half and dressing them with a little bit of oil and some salt. Now look, you can absolutely use an oven for this next part, or you can do this in a saute pan, but I wanna try this in an air fryer. The reason is you get a really nice roasted texture and flavor from the air fryer, and it's super easy, so if you have one, by all means use it. If not, this works perfectly in a saute pan or an oven like I had mentioned. Rumi's ramen also looked like it had some cauliflower, so I'm going to dress this cauliflower with a touch of oil and some salt and throw it in the air fryer as well. This way I can cook both of these at one time and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now I have to deal with Zoe's toppings, and they are hamburger toppings. I don't know where I'm going to be going with this, but I'm going to be slicing up some romaine just until it's nice and presentable, then slicing a few pieces of this hothouse tomato, which is going to be very awkward on a ramen. I don't know what's happening here, but the onion makes sense. We can put onion on ramen all day long. This is the prep that I need for Zoe. Zoe, you're off the wall, but you're still best girl. The protein I also need for Zoe is literally hamburger. So I have a 4-ounce piece of really nice lean ground beef that I'm seasoning with a bit of salt and then smashing it into my cast iron pan just to get a nice char on one side. Admittedly, I probably should have used a different pan because this was kind of hard to flip and a little bit awkward, but we got there. This is the hamburger meat for Zoe's ramen. Now, all 3 ramen will also get some helpings of green onions because you can't have ramen without green onion. Let's be real here. Now, on the top of each of their ramens, there's a golden ball of some kind, and I'm assuming it's to tie it into the song Golden, which is fantastic, but I have no idea what that golden ball is, and my only thought was an egg yolk. Since I don't really get egg yolks that are incredibly fresh out here in the US, we're gonna do a sunny side up egg. It's the best you can do. Now, making a sunny side up egg is also relatively simple as long as you have the world's cutest saute pan. I cooked each sunny side up under the watchful gaze of my mom trying to get water from the fridge, and after just a few minutes, I had all 3 eggs ready to go. Now I get to finally deal with this bell pepper at the end of everything else. All you need to do is take a paper towel and start rubbing off any of the charred bits from the bell pepper until it's nice and clean. Once it's nice and clean, remove the seeds from the center of the bell pepper and slice these into like 1-inch long slices. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just cut them first and then cut them in half and we're kind of done. Now, I would never lie to any of you, and even though I may look like I have the realest of real K-pop Demon Hunters instant ramen, these are fake. This is actually these are bulldog ramen of different varieties with this really cool label that I found. I'll leave a link down below for the artist who made these over on Etsy. They were a couple of bucks each if you're a super fan and you really want to do this, but these are not real. I have made the real ones, just like I have made the realest infinite recipe card system in existence. Don't ask me where this was. Cooking with Chaos is my brand new infinite 60 card recipe system. And even though it's only 60 card, the combinations are endless. Just like those combinations of Instagram Reels and TikToks you're finding of people doing insane acts to the song Golden or Takedown. Yes, I've fallen down the hole, and I appreciate it. Cooking with Chaos allows you to pick from 20 different proteins, sauces, or sides and combine them in new ways that you've never even thought of. Just like we never thought that this movie would be our movie of the year. Let's be honest, what else was there? There's nothing this year. I've been working on Cooking with Chaos almost as long as they've been working on K-pop Demon Hunters, but all I have to show for it are some really awesome cards that will help you get excited to cook. I've included more features into Cooking with Chaos than they've included music in K-pop Demon Hunters, and I'm not lying. On the front of each card is a full ingredient list, and on the back are the full instructions. But on the upper corner, there is a D20 mechanic where you can roll a 20-sided die and just make whatever the die says for you to make. That's why there's 20 of each. Is that not enough for you? Well, I've included macronutrients on the back of each card. This way, if you are watching what you're eating, unlike our girls over at Huntrix, you can calculate all the macros for your epic meal prep that you're going to make with my cards Cooking with Chaos. But don't take my word for it. We've had people in the community sending me their their favorite combinations, and I'm so stoked to see all of this. Cooking with Chaos has been my passion project for the past 3 years, and I'm excited that you guys have this. And when you order it at the link down below over at cookingwithchaos.gg or with the QR code on screen right here, you're gonna get the first edition box with all 60 cards and 3 free expansion pack cards from my future Rice Bowl expansion pack. So if you wanna support the channel directly and you really enjoy the content, Cooking with Chaos is the best way to support the channel. Not only do you support what I do, but you're going to get something amazing out of it that's going to get you excited to get into the kitchen. And maybe one day Cooking with Chaos will get so big that I can actually have Huntrix cards. I've been working on this secret Pat Flynn card from Deep Pocket Monsters, which I'm going to debut at Card Party over in Seattle this year. And I would love to make some Huntrix cards. So if you want to see that happen, head over to cookingwithchaos.gg at the link down below or the QR code on screen and order right now. Now let us assemble all of our girls' ramens. Now that the Huntrix are part of the Cooking with Chaos community, I can finally plate up these ramens. I'm going to just remove some of the sauces and toppings from the original Bulldog ramens. Don't throw these away. These are still great. Now, what I do like using these fillings and toppings for is actually fried rice. If you have any rice laying around, just use those toppings for that. Now, Rumi's Ramen gets some of those roasted shiitake mushrooms along with some of the roasted cauliflower. This also gets that shiotade, which is a super salty tade, and I'm only putting in a small amount of it because it's super strong, but if you want it to be extra salty, add more shiotade. I'm topping it off with a bit of the green onion, and then moving on to Mira's version. Mira gets a few of those roasted bell peppers we had made and sliced, followed by a good helping of the miso spicy pork, and then some of the green onion as well. Finally, I can plate up Best Girl's very awkward hamburger ramen. Best Girl gets a bit of that miso butter sauce we had made, and this is going to be the tade for this ramen. Again, if you're making this, you can add as much as you want and make it super powerful if you want to. The hamburger didn't all fit into my cup, so I cut it in half and then threw some of the onions right on top of that, followed by nope, the whole thing doesn't fit. We have to cut this tomato in half one more time because this cup is not that big. 1/2 a slice of tomato, and then I have to pay the cheese tax. Have you been summoned? Right, I gotta pay the cheese tax. You know, do a half for Zoe, and then Gandalf, do you want cheese tax? Come on, you can come up. You can come up, come on. Come on, lazy. There you go, buddy. Oh, it's right here. Hold on, there you go. Now that I've paid the cheese tax, I have to start adding the liquid to the ramen. Ow, 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 get out, ow, ow, sir, stop. Ow, oh, ow, God. I can't believe I got through pouring Mira's broth in without spilling anything. What do I cover these with? Each ramen needs to be covered for a little bit to keep it hot. Oh, hold on, Mira was supposed to get mushrooms. No! This is what happens when you don't pay the cheese tax on time, okay? You tend to forget things. These things happen. Like making sure that this was Rumi's cup for the broth that I needed to pour into Rumi's cup. I'm throwing that over easy golden egg right on top and then throwing a lid on it as well. Just gonna cover that with a product placement. Hey, look, I don't make the rules. It was just right in front of me, so I may as well use it. Now I'm pouring Zoe's beef and onion broth directly into her cup as well, and I top it off with one of those beautiful golden sunny side up eggs. All 3 ramen have their fillings, their liquids, their toppings, their tade, everything. And no matter what, according to Rumi, I have to wait 3 minutes. And luckily, golden is 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Now, after listening to Golden for the 100th time, it's time to taste test these. I'm actually really excited to try these out because I've made ramen like this a couple of times, but not exactly like this. So a lot of this is pretty new to me, especially Zoe, Best Girl, with her cheeseburger ramen. Admittedly, these look super fun. They don't look as fun with the egg on top because it just hides everything else, but you know that there's going to be magic underneath. Now, to give it a fair shot, I'm going to start in order. I think I poured Rumi's first. No, I poured Mira's first. God, I don't even remember because I'm so excited. I'm gonna dive in to the super spicy one first, which doesn't make any sense. You usually have the spicy stuff last so your palate's not destroyed, but here we are. I don't even know how to show this to you guys. Here we go. I'm gonna break the yolk, get all underneath there. Oh, dude, this is gonna be so good. Oh, with the pork. Oh, the noodles cooked perfectly. Oh my God, the egg yolk makes it super creamy. My mouth is freaking watering, guys. This is exciting. No, Gandalf, you can't have this. You can't have this, okay? No, no. I'm gonna try to get a bite with a little bit of everything on there, and then I'm gonna try the broth. So cheers to our spicy queen, Mira. Oh yeah, it's spicy. Oh, it's so good though. You immediately get hit with the spice and then the miso flavor comes through. It's actually very well balanced. The sugar that was in there helps kind of mellow out a lot of the spiciness. Like you get hit with the spicy, but it doesn't linger. This is so good. Oh, hold on. Gotta get some of the broth. Oh, this is gonna be, this is gonna be a tough competition. This is so good. And this was one of the easier ones to make. Oh, then we're gonna go straight into superstar flavor. This is Rumi's flavor. And what it looked like, again, was mostly like a vegetable, very pure, clean, shio ramen, because you need salt to defeat demons. You know, throwing it out there. I'm gonna break the yolk once again, get everything stirred up. This one had the mushrooms and the cauliflower. I've never had cauliflower in ramen before, so this is new for both of us. Well, here we go. Cheers. Very clean tasting, a little bright from the lemongrass and the onion that we had put into the broth. Not as much of a punch. Let me try the broth on its own. This one is more of like a warm hug. It's a little bright, a little fresh. This one's a punch in the mouth, but you kind of like it, you know? This one's good. Mira's is still top dog right now. But now we have to go to Best Girl Zoe and her cheeseburger ramen. I've never had cheeseburger ramen. I don't know if I would ever order cheeseburger ramen, so here we are. Maybe I should have like broken down the cheeseburger, but on the packaging, it looked like it was literally just a burger patty or two. I think the thing that excites me the most about this is the soy butter tare, because it just smelled divine. So I want to taste what that tastes like. Cheers. Okay, hear me out. That soy butter tare, I think that's something you should just make. Just make it. Put it on eggs or steak or something. It is so good. There's so much flavor from the soy sauce, from the natural umami in the soy sauce. And then there's so much flavor from that butter itself, giving this like rich fattiness that is not from the meat, but it's from the butter instead. Let's get a big old bite of this burger as well. The burger? Okay, here's the thing. While Zoe is best girl and everyone loves Rumi, to me, the winner of this entire thing is Mira's spicy miso pork ramen. Sick. It's the right amount of spice. It packs enough heat. It has a ton of flavor from the tare that we had put, as well as the broth itself, and it doesn't linger even though you get hit with the spice. Fantastic. But I'm just pumped to be able to celebrate this movie another time. And honestly, I can't get enough of it, so I might also do the couch feast next because the girls didn't get to enjoy it, so you and I can enjoy it instead. The girls would absolutely love Cooking with Chaos because Chaos is all of their middle names. So if you want to check out Cooking with Chaos, I'll leave a link down below over at cookingwithchaos.gg or the QR code on screen. My name is Chef PK, and remember, keep playing with your food. Gandalf, you have to disappear. Gandalf, they're not gonna believe me if you don't disappear. Gandalf.